This was my mother's. She passed away a couple years ago. But one of the beautiful things about being in touch with your intuitive psychic gifts is that you don't ever have to stop communicating with your loved ones. Hi, I'm Sabrina Celeste. So, just like we have the 5 physical senses, sight, hearing, touch, smell, feeling, we also have 5 intuitive senses: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, among others, okay? Let's start with clairvoyance, the gift of clear seeing. Clairvoyance is the ability to receive intuitive information through mental images, visions, or symbols. It is seeing with your mind's eye. Remember, I spoke earlier about your mind's eye. It contains a retina, lens, and a cornea, just like your eye, which is why when you close your eyes, you have the ability to see colors or images or pictures. Clairvoyance is probably I would say it's the main clair that most psychics and mediums and intuitives use to receive and give information from the spirit world, from your loved ones, and just the ability to see in your mind's eye. That's also called your mind's eye. Okay. How it feels. Clairvoyance, you might get a flash of an image or a scene or a symbolic picture that gives you insight to a situation. It might be visualizing. Does it get dark in here? It might be visualizing an outcome before it happens. It might be receiving mental pictures of someone that you're about to meet, or thinking about someone that you haven't thought of in a long time and the phone rings and it's them. Those are signs of clairvoyance. Because clairvoyance is, I wouldn't say it's the main one, but it is probably the one that intuitives use the most. And to practice strengthening your clairvoyance skills, you might want to close your eyes and visualize objects, like let's say a flower or whatever it might be, but spend time 5-10 minutes a day just visualizing in much detail as you can about that particular object. This strengthens your mind's eye. Also, keeping a journal. I keep a journal by my bed. I keep a journal by my chair in the morning where I have coffee. Just, as you see symbols and pictures and things that come to you, write them down. Write them down so that, you can later refer to them and see just how accurate you were when you would see these images. A lot of times, I know it's really funny because I love to play penny slots. I love them. And I will clear my mind and I will ask which machine I should play. Now, it's funny because if my left palm is itching, I go. If my right palm is itching, I won't, because the left is for receiving and the right is for giving. Now, sometimes my left palm will itch, but then the side of my right palm will itch. That generally tells me that I will win money, but if I'm not careful, I'll lose money. So when I go to the machine and I win, I haven't won like large amounts, but pretty good sized amounts. 800, 900, 1,000. If my right palm has been itching or had been itching, I stop because I know I will lose it. So that's another sign of clairvoyance. Keeping a journal. And then the other thing that I like to do is, ask for signs. Like I just said, before making a decision, ask your intuition to show you mental images and pictures that will represent your best choice. And trust what you see. The most important thing I can tell you, or the most important thing that I teach any of my students, is learn how to trust your intuitive gut. Okay? Because your head will be busy. Bzz. It will tell you all kinds of things. But I always say your heart will never lie. I mean your gut, your heart, your gut. You'll feel your emotions. Those have always been connected to heartfelt feelings, but it's really your solar plexus. That's where you feel it, in your gut. Okay. Clairaudience. That is when you can hear. When I hear voices, or when I hear someone call out my name, when I am in alpha state, which is half asleep, half awake, when I receive, guests, spirits, my mom or grandma, they come to speak to me, I can hear them. Is it audible? Well, all I can tell you is I do have a burning bush experience with my relationship with God, Dad. I once heard audibly, I once heard the whole room fill up audibly with God's voice saying, "I am proud of you." So that was one time that I did hear a voice audibly. Otherwise, it is audible. It's audible, but you are going to hear it internally, if that makes sense. Possibly, I don't know. That one is tricky. But what I can tell you is that you will hear, like when I'm giving a reading, I will sometimes hear people say words or things or names, or they'll just speak to me. So that's, clairaudience. You hear things. You'll be cleaning your house and you might hear someone call your name. Well, you have angels, you have loved ones on the other side, I'm sure, who are always trying to get your attention. So pay attention to those audible messages and make sure they're good, of course. A lot of times, a lot of people might be frightened by the whole idea of communicating with the spirit world. But honestly, I had this wonderful teacher who always said, water seeks its own level, like attracts like. If you are a good person and, you try to keep your mind and thoughts, on a higher plane, right? Clear your mind of, wrong motives, that you will probably not have any of those interactions. And if you do, don't worry. There is nothing to be afraid of. I have seen both demons and mostly angels, thank God. And I've seen demons a few times and have, been confronted by them. But the only power they have is to put fear in your heart. But don't be afraid. Just like there are good and people who make bad choices, there are, it's the same in the spirit world. So just, question the spirits, question who you're speaking to, and always use the protection of white and pink light around you, and call in your angels and ask for protection to keep all negative and mischievous energies, far away from you. That's what I do no matter what, whether I'm giving a reading or whether I'm getting ready to go to sleep at night. I always bring in my mighty angel warriors to protect each door and window, corner of the rooms, each room, and keep all of those influences far away from me. The next one is clairsentience. That is feeling. So when I meet someone or I come up to someone, I have the gift of reading their energy. Everyone emits their own personal energy, and I can literally read their energy, and I began to pick up things about them, about their personality, about things that they might be going through in their life. And pretty soon, eventually, even the loved ones on the other side will come through because they know I'll be able to hear them. With clairsentience, it's about feeling. You can walk into a room. Now, if you walk into a room and you're already feeling insecure, that's different. It's very important that when you walk into a room and you feel out the energy of the room, that you leave yourself out of it. What people think about you is none of your business. So if you want to tap in or tune in to the energy of the room, and if it's a room full of people that you already know you don't have good rapport with, then just leave. I don't subject myself anymore to people who have any kind of negativity towards me. It's just a waste of time. But if you want to do it for fun, or if you're doing it like I do it in group readings, I can feel the energy of the room. I can sense when someone is apprehensive because they've never been to a medium before. I can sense if, the energy of the room needs to be cleaned or cleared before I can start, doing my readings. It's about feeling. You get this feeling that something's going to happen, and then it's usually combined with your clairvoyance. You can see it happening. But, don't be afraid. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. So clairsentience, it's really hard to say. Clairsentience is all about, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling a kind of way right now. And so I don't think I'm going to proceed right now. I'm going to trust my feeling. I'm going to honor that feeling, and I'm going to, follow what it is I'm feeling. Okay. So that's how you practice and recognize clairsentience. Claircognizance is very similar to clairsentience. It's a gut feeling. It's a hunch. It's a feeling that just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you just get this gut, it's like a sudden knowing. Oh, no, I'm not doing it. Or yes, let's do it. That's claircognizance. So it's a sudden knowing. Clairaudience is smelling. Smelling things that are not physically present. When I just love Mother Mary. I've seen Mother Mary by my bedside. I smell roses, and I have smelled roses in my sleep, or right before I saw her standing next to my bed, I smelled roses. I know that it's Mother Mary. When my grandmother visits, I will smell her perfume in the room. Sometimes when my stepfather, who I wasn't real close with, but we made our peace toward the end, I can smell his cigar. When my beautiful mother-in-law, who passed away a couple years ago, comes to visit, I can smell her cigarette. So clairaudience is about smelling, sense. Clairgustance is about tasting. It's one of the main reasons why I never went to work with like detectives and police and did any police work with my psychic gifts. I tried, and what happened was I actually got the taste of metal in my mouth. That generally means the person was shot by a gun. I also saw a vision of an apartment, but it was decorated like back in the 60s with, lime green and bright yellow colors. And I saw the murderer walking through the kitchen and opening up the knife drawer. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm not doing this. I can't do it. I don't do murders. Sorry. Now, if I'm in a group reading, one time I did see this man came through and he showed me some yellow tape. Unfortunately, one of the young girls that were attending my group readings lost her father. He was murdered. That's a little bit different. But back to clairgustance. Clairgustance, I think I'm saying that right. Clairaudience is smelling. Clairgustance is tasting. Yeah, so you can taste or you can smell. Practice and trusting your gut. Trusting your intuitive hunches. That's really it. That's really it as far as like, the basic 5 clairs. And, just look them up. They're online. And I'm going to do some tapping videos on, activating your pineal gland. You can also go online and find frequency waves for free that will help activate your pineal gland. That also helps with developing your intuitive psychic abilities, if that's what you're interested in. Anyway, if you have any questions about anything, I'm Sabrina. I've been studying this for 45 years, and I believe that we all have gifts. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Love you guys. See you next time.